Hello and welcome to English Pod Studio. I'm so glad you're here today. If you're learning English and you want to improve your listening and speaking skills in a fun, easy, and relaxed way, you're in the right place. This podcast is designed to help you practice English through real, natural conversations and meaningful topics. Each episode is made especially for English learners like you. Whether you're on your way to work, studying at home, or just relaxing with your headphones, this is a great way to learn English while also learning something important about life. Today, we're going to talk about something we all feel at some point: fear. Fear is a part of life. It's something we all experience, no matter who we are or where we come from. Sometimes fear helps protect us, but many times, fear stops us from doing things we really want to do. Maybe you want to speak more English, but you're afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you want to try something new, like traveling to another country, but fear tells you to stay home. Or maybe you just feel stuck because fear keeps holding you back from your dreams. In this episode, we're going to explore what fear is, why we feel it, and most importantly, how to overcome it. You'll learn simple ideas and hear real examples that can help you become more brave, more confident, and more in control of your life. And remember, this is not just about fear. This is also about learning English. So as you listen, try to speak along with me. Repeat words and phrases. Pause and say things out loud. This will help you train your brain and mouth to speak English naturally. Ready to get started? Let's begin. What is fear? Let's begin by understanding what fear really is. Fear is an emotion. It's a strong feeling that we get when we think something bad might happen. It usually comes when we feel unsafe, unsure, or when we're doing something new. For example, imagine you're standing in front of a group of people and you have to give a speech in English. Your heart starts to beat fast, your hands feel cold, your stomach turns. That's fear. Or think about the moment you decide to make a big life change, like moving to a new city, starting a new job, or ending a relationship. You feel nervous, you doubt yourself. You think, what if this goes wrong? That's fear again. Fear is a natural reaction. It's not always bad. In fact, it's there to protect you. Thousands of years ago, fear helped our ancestors survive. When they saw a dangerous animal, fear helped them run away or hide. But today, we're not usually in danger of wild animals. Still, our brains respond in the same way. When something feels new, difficult, or risky, our brain says, be careful. And sometimes, this fear becomes too strong. It takes control and stops us from doing things we actually want or need to do. So the problem is not fear itself. The problem is letting fear control your life. The different types of fear. Now let's talk about the different kinds of fear. Not all fear is the same. Let's look at some common types that many people experience. 1. Fear of failure. This is a big one. Many people don't try new things because they're afraid they will fail. They think, what if I try and I don't succeed? So they do nothing. But doing nothing is also a kind of failure. 2. Fear of rejection. This fear happens when we're afraid that others will not accept us. We don't want people to laugh at us or say no. This stops us from speaking up, applying for jobs, or telling someone how we feel. 3. Fear of the unknown. We all like to feel safe, but trying new things means going into the unknown. That can be scary, but staying in the same place just because it's familiar won't help us grow. 4. Fear of judgment. What will people think of me? This question stops many people from being themselves. Fear of judgment keeps us small and quiet. 5. Fear of making mistakes. This is very common among English learners. You may understand English well, but you don't speak because you're afraid of saying something wrong. But making mistakes is how we learn. 6. Fear of success. This may sound strange, but some people are actually afraid of success. Why? Because success brings change, and change can be scary too. As you listen to this list, ask yourself, which type of fear do you feel the most? You might have more than one, and that's okay. A personal story. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had a student named Luis. He was from Mexico and had been learning English for many years. He could read books, understand movies, and even write good emails in English, but he never spoke. I asked him why, and he said, "Because I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'll say something wrong. I'm afraid people will laugh at me." So he stayed silent. He knew a lot, but he wasn't using his knowledge. One day, I told Luis something simple. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to grow. From that day on, Luis made a choice to speak one sentence in English every day. Just one. Sometimes it was wrong. Sometimes he forgot words, but he kept trying. Slowly, his confidence grew. He began speaking more. And after 6 months, he gave a short presentation in English in front of his class. Everyone clapped. Luis overcame his fear by taking small steps. How fear affects our life. Fear is not just a feeling. It can change how we live. When we let fear control us, we miss opportunities. We stay in unhealthy situations. We don't follow our dreams. We say no to new experiences. We feel stuck. But when we face fear, we learn and grow. We become stronger. We build confidence. We open doors. We feel free. Fear can be like a cage, but courage is the key that opens that cage. And here's something important. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action even when you feel afraid. Why it's important to talk about fear. You might wonder, why are we talking about fear in an English podcast? Here's why. Because fear affects every part of life, including language learning. Many learners understand English but don't speak because they are afraid. They wait until they are perfect. But there is no perfect time. The best time to speak is now, even if you make mistakes. Also, learning how to manage fear helps you live better, not just speak better. It helps you in relationships, school, work, and health. And when you combine learning English with learning life skills like confidence and courage, you become powerful. What we'll talk about next. In the next part of this podcast, we'll talk about how to face fear in small, simple steps, the role of positive thinking, how to build habits that reduce fear, and real techniques you can use every day. We'll also look at how kindness, gratitude, and action help you become stronger than fear. Remember, you are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you believe. And every step you take forward, even a small one, is a step away from fear. Many people think they must fight fear in a big way, but that's not true. In fact, the best way to overcome fear is to take small, steady steps. These are called baby steps. Let's say you're afraid to speak English. Instead of trying to give a big speech right away, try saying one sentence to yourself, then maybe one sentence to a friend, then 2 sentences to your teacher. Slowly, your confidence will grow. This method is called exposure. The more you face your fear, little by little, the weaker it becomes. Think of fear like a shadow. If you shine a light on it, it gets smaller. But if you run away, it feels bigger. Small actions shine that light. Real-life example: facing fear at work. Let's look at another example. Anna was afraid to speak up in meetings at work. She thought her ideas weren't good enough. Every time she had something to say, her heart would beat fast and she stayed silent. Her coach gave her a small challenge. At each meeting, say one short sentence, even if it's just, "I agree," or "I think that's interesting." At first, it was hard, but after a few weeks, Anna started speaking more. She didn't need to say everything. She just needed to show up and participate. Over time, her fear didn't disappear, but it stopped controlling her. Make a fear ladder. Here's a great tool: a fear ladder. Imagine your fear is a tall ladder. The top of the ladder is the biggest, scariest action. But you don't climb to the top in one jump. You go one step at a time. Let's build a fear ladder together. Example: fear of speaking English. 1. Say one English word out loud alone. 2. Say one sentence out loud alone. 3. Record yourself speaking and listen back. 4. Say a sentence to a friend or tutor. 5. Join a speaking club and introduce yourself. 6. Ask a question in class or at a meeting. 7. Share an idea in a group conversation. 8. Give a short presentation or speech. Each step is a little harder, but also helps you grow. Write down your own ladder. What steps can you take? Don't wait for confidence, create it. This might surprise you. You don't need confidence to start. You build confidence by taking action. Think about learning to ride a bike. You don't feel confident before you get on. You feel scared, but you try. You fall. You try again. After a few tries, you're riding. That's confidence. Fear says, wait until you feel ready. Courage says, do it now, even if you're scared. So take that first step. The second step will be easier, then the third. Before you know it, you're climbing the ladder. Replace fearful thoughts with truth. Fear often begins in our thoughts. We think, I can't do this. What if I fail? People will laugh at me. I'm not good enough. These thoughts feel real, but they are not always true. Replace them with kinder, stronger thoughts. I will try. It's okay to fail. That's how I learn. Everyone makes mistakes. I am growing. You are not your fear. You are the one who notices it, and you are stronger than it. Use the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins, a famous author, talks about the 5-second rule. When you feel fear or hesitation, count down: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This gives your brain a push to take action. For example, if you want to say something in English class but you feel afraid, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then raise your hand. The more often you do this, the easier it gets. Celebrate your wins. Each time you do something brave, celebrate it. Smile. Say, I did it. Tell a friend. Write it in your notebook. Even if it feels small, it's a big deal. These victories add up. For example, you spoke English to a stranger? Celebrate. You wrote a post online in English? Celebrate. You said yes to a challenge? Celebrate. Every brave action deserves a high five. Why? Because you showed up. You moved forward. That's powerful. Fear will visit, but it won't stay. Here's the truth. Fear will always come back, but each time you face it, it becomes smaller and easier to manage. Fear is like a wave. It rises, then it falls. You don't need to fight it. Just ride it. Breathe through it. It will pass. And after each wave, you are stronger than before. Look back and see your growth. Take a moment to think about something that used to scare you, but doesn't anymore. Maybe speaking in class. Maybe asking for help. Maybe traveling alone. What changed? You grew. You faced your fear. And now, it doesn't control you. That's the journey. Step by step, you become braver. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to move forward anyway. We're going to explore one of the most powerful ways to overcome fear by changing the way you think. Yes, your mindset plays a big role in how fear affects you. The way you see fear, talk about fear, and react to fear can either make it stronger or weaker. So let's explore how to shift your mindset to become stronger than your fear. 1. Fear is not your enemy. Many people think fear is a bad thing. They try to avoid it, hide from it, or fight it. But fear is actually a natural emotion. It is your body's way of trying to protect you. Fear tells you, hey, something might go wrong here. Be careful. When you accept fear as a normal part of life, it becomes less scary. Instead of thinking fear is bad, try thinking fear is information. It's like a signal telling you that something is important, something matters to you. Imagine you're about to give a speech in class. You feel nervous. That's fear. But why are you afraid? Because you care about doing well. That means fear is not your enemy. It's a sign that you care. And that's actually a good thing. From now on, try to be curious about your fear. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to tell me? When you understand your fear, it becomes easier to manage. 2. Focus on what you can control. Fear often grows when we think too much about things we cannot control. For example, you might worry, what if I fail? Or, what if people laugh at me? But those things are not in your control. So what can you control? You can control your preparation. You can control your actions. You can control how you respond to fear. Let's say you're afraid of a job interview. You can't control the interviewer's mood or the other applicants, but you can prepare your answers. You can dress well. You can practice in front of a mirror. When you focus on what you can do, you feel more powerful. The fear becomes smaller, and your confidence grows. Here's a simple question to ask when fear shows up. What can I do right now to move forward? 3. Use positive self-talk. What you say to yourself matters. When you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm going to mess up, your fear gets louder. But when you say, I've prepared for this, or I'm doing my best, you calm yourself down. Your brain listens to your thoughts, so speak kindly to yourself. Use positive self-talk. You can even create your own mantras or affirmations. Here are some examples. I am stronger than my fear. I don't have to be perfect to make progress. Every step I take makes me braver. Say these out loud. Write them down. Repeat them every day. Over time, your brain will believe them. 4. Think in possibilities, not problems. Fear often makes us think only about the worst-case scenario. We imagine everything going wrong. But what if we did the opposite? What if we focused on what could go right? Instead of asking, what if I fail, ask, what if I succeed? Instead of saying, this is too hard, try, this is a challenge, but I can learn. Let's take an example. Imagine Maria wants to move to a new city for work, but she's afraid. Her mind says, what if I don't make friends? What if I don't like the new job? But she changes her thoughts. What if I meet amazing people? What if this job helps me grow? By shifting her thinking, Maria becomes more excited than afraid. That's the power of a positive mindset. 5. Remember past successes. Fear often makes us forget our strengths. We focus on the problem and forget all the times we've already faced fear and succeeded. Here's an exercise. Take a notebook and write down 5 times in your life when you were afraid, but you took action anyway. Maybe you spoke English for the first time with a stranger. Maybe you traveled alone. Maybe you asked for help when it was hard. These memories are proof that you can handle fear. When fear shows up again, look back at your list and say, I've done hard things before. I can do this too. Your past is full of bravery. Use it to remind yourself that you are stronger than you think. 6. Choose growth over comfort. There are 2 zones in life, the comfort zone and the growth zone. The comfort zone is where everything feels safe. You don't take risks, you don't feel fear, but you also don't grow. The growth zone is where change happens. It's where you learn new things, try new experiences, and become stronger. But it's also where fear lives. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you grow. Yes, it's scary, but it's also exciting. You don't have to jump all at once. Take small steps. Each time you stretch yourself, you expand your comfort zone, and what used to scare you will one day feel easy. 7. Visualize success, not fear. Your imagination is powerful. You can use it to create fear, or you can use it to create confidence. Close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding. See yourself giving a great presentation, finishing a race, or having a successful conversation. Feel the emotions: pride, joy, excitement. The more you visualize success, the more your brain believes it's possible. You can even use a method called mental rehearsal. Athletes use this all the time. They imagine themselves playing the game perfectly, and it helps them perform better. You can do the same with fear. Imagine yourself facing your fear calmly and confidently. Practice in your mind before you practice in real life. 8. Fear will never fully go away, and that's okay. Here's something important to understand. Fear never completely disappears. Even the most confident people feel fear, but they don't let it stop them. The goal is not to be fearless. The goal is to be brave, to take action even when you feel afraid. There's a quote that says, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important." When you remember your purpose, your dreams, or your goals, you find the strength to act, even if fear is standing next to you. So don't wait for fear to vanish. Take fear with you and move forward anyway. Today we learned how powerful your thoughts are. By changing your mindset, you can shrink fear and grow confidence. Here's what we covered. Fear is not your enemy. It's information. Focus on what you can control. Use positive self-talk. Think in possibilities, not just problems. Remember your past victories. Choose growth over comfort. Visualize your success. Know that fear will always be there, but you can still move forward. How to overcome fear. We are going to explore how we can support others in facing their fears, and how creating a positive environment around us can help everyone, including ourselves, build a fearless and more confident life. Let's begin. Supporting others through fear. Fear is something we all experience, and one of the best ways to become stronger ourselves is by helping others who are struggling. When we support someone else, we also learn how to deal with fear better. So, how can we support others who are feeling afraid? First, Listen without judgment. When someone shares their fear with you, listen carefully. Don't laugh or say their fear is silly. Remember, every person's fear is real to them. By listening with kindness and respect, you make them feel safe. You show them that they are not alone. Sometimes we don't even need to give advice. Just listening and saying, "I understand," or "That must be hard," can mean a lot. It gives them strength and comfort. Second, share your own experiences. If you have felt a similar fear, talk about it. Say what you felt, what you did, and how you overcame it. This helps the other person see that fear can be managed. It also shows them that they are not weak. Everyone feels afraid sometimes, even strong people. For example, if your friend is scared to give a speech, you might say, "I remember feeling so nervous before my first presentation. My hands were shaking and my voice felt small. But I practiced a lot, and even though I was scared, I did it anyway. And after that, I felt so proud." Stories like this inspire others and give them hope. Third, encourage them to take small steps. Don't push someone too hard. Fear needs to be respected. Instead, help them take one small step at a time. Let's say someone is afraid to talking to new people. You could go with them to a social event and help start a conversation. Or if someone is scared to ask for help at school or work, you could role-play the conversation with them first. Being kind and patient makes a big difference. Fourth, celebrate their progress. When someone does something brave, even something small, celebrate it. Tell them, "You did great," or "I'm so proud of you." These words help build their confidence and encourage them to keep going. And don't forget, even trying is a victory. Facing fear takes strength, and every step forward is a success. Creating a fearless community. Fear can shrink when we are surrounded by positive people. So let's talk about how we can build a kind, encouraging community that helps everyone grow. One way is to be open and honest. Share your fears and struggles with trusted friends or groups. When we talk about our fears openly, we create a safe space. Others feel like they can be honest too. This creates trust. It also reminds us that we are not alone. Fear becomes smaller when we share it with others. Another way is to practice empathy. Empathy means trying to understand how someone else feels. It means putting yourself in their shoes. If someone is scared, instead of saying, "Don't be afraid," try saying, "I understand. I've felt that way too. Let's take it slow together." When we use empathy, we help others feel understood and accepted. This helps them open up and take steps to grow. Encourage growth and learning. In a fearless community, people support each other's dreams. If someone wants to try something new, like singing, starting a business, or traveling alone, encourage them. Say, "I believe in you," or "You can do it." These words can mean the world to someone who feels afraid. Even if they fail, remind them that trying is brave. Every try teaches us something. Let's create spaces, at home, in school, or online, where people are free to make mistakes, learn, and grow. Fear in relationships and communication. Fear often appears in our relationships. We might be afraid to speak honestly, to say no, or to ask for what we need. But healthy relationships are built on trust, honesty, and communication. So how do we deal with fear in relationships? Start with honesty. If something is making you afraid, talk about it. Use calm and kind words. For example, "I feel nervous when I don't hear back from you. It makes me wonder if I've done something wrong. Can we talk about it?" Using "I feel" statements helps the other person understand your emotions without feeling attacked. Second, set boundaries. Sometimes we feel fear because we don't feel safe to say no, but setting boundaries is important. It helps us feel more secure and respected. You can say, "I'm not comfortable with that," or "I need some time alone right now." Good friends and partners will respect your needs. Third, don't let fear stop important conversations. Maybe you need to tell someone how you really feel or ask for help. Fear might make you avoid the talk, but holding things inside can cause stress. Take a deep breath. Plan what you want to say. Practice it if needed. Then speak from the heart. Over time, you'll see that facing these moments builds stronger relationships and helps you grow as a person. Helping children deal with fear. If you are a parent, teacher, or have young people in your life, you might wonder how to help them with fear. Children feel fear just like adults, but they may not know how to explain it. So we must help them understand and manage fear in a gentle way. First, listen carefully. If a child says they are afraid, take it seriously. Ask questions like, "What are you feeling right now?" Or, "What are you worried might happen?" Even if their fear seems small to you, it feels big to them. Second, explain fear in simple words. Say something like, "Fear is your brain's way of trying to protect you. It's okay to feel afraid, but let's look at the fear together and see if we can face it." Third, give them tools. Help children learn calming skills like deep breathing or repeating a positive phrase. You can also create a bravery chart where they get a sticker or star each time they face a fear. This turns fear into a challenge they can overcome. Finally, be a role model. Show children that fear is normal and can be managed. If you're feeling nervous about something, talk about it calmly and explain what you are doing to face it. Children learn best by watching the adults around them. Remember, we all have the power to support others through their fears. Building a kind and open community helps everyone grow. Relationships get stronger when we face fear with honesty and care. Helping children understand and manage fear helps them grow into confident adults. Now, we'll look at how to create a long-term plan for facing fear, how to stay motivated on this journey, and why living with courage can completely change your life. Let's begin. Creating a long-term plan to overcome fear. Fear is not something that disappears overnight. It takes time, patience, and consistent effort to reduce fear and build confidence. That's why having a long-term plan is so important. Let's talk about how you can create your own plan for facing fear step by step. Step 1. Identify your fears clearly. You can't overcome what you don't understand. Start by writing down the fears that hold you back. Be honest. Maybe it's fear of public speaking, fear of meeting new people, or fear of trying something new. Step 2. Choose one small fear to work on. Don't try to fix everything at once. Choose one fear that feels manageable. For example, if you're afraid to speak English with others, start with small situations like ordering food in English or saying hello to a stranger. Step 3. Break it into tiny steps. This is where your fear ladder comes in. Think of your fear as a tall ladder. Each step is a small challenge that gets you closer to the top. If you keep climbing, one small step at a time, you'll reach your goal. Step 4. Set a routine. Make fear-facing part of your routine. Maybe every Monday you challenge yourself in a small way, or maybe every evening you write in a fear journal. The more regular the habit, the more natural it becomes. Step 5. Celebrate progress. Every time you face a fear, celebrate it. Say to yourself, "I did it." It might feel small to others, but for you, it's huge. Write it down, smile, and feel proud. These wins will motivate you to keep going. Step 6. Learn from setbacks. You may face fear and still feel afraid. That's okay. Don't give up. Learn from it. Ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? What can I try next time? Overcoming fear is a process, not a one-time event. Stay motivated when fear returns. Even when you make progress, fear can return. That's normal. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you are human. Let's look at how to stay motivated when fear tries to come back. 1. Remind yourself of why you're doing this. Write down your reason. Maybe it's to travel, build your dream career, or meet new people. Put it somewhere you'll see every day. When fear shows up, read your reason again. It will help you stay strong. 2. Create a courage list. Make a list of times you faced your fear and succeeded. Read this list whenever you feel afraid. It will remind you that you've done hard things before, and you can do them again. 3. Get support. Talk to someone about your fear, a friend, teacher, or coach. You don't have to do this alone. Sharing your fear makes it feel smaller, and having someone cheer you on helps more than you think. 4. Reframe fear as growth. Instead of saying, I'm scared, say, this is my moment to grow. This small change in language makes a big difference. It helps your brain see fear as something positive. 5. Take action again quickly. When fear returns, don't wait. Take a small action immediately. Even something simple like taking a deep breath or saying one word out loud. Action breaks the cycle of fear. Why choosing courage changes your life. Choosing courage doesn't just help you in one moment. It changes your entire life. Here's how. 1. You discover what you're truly capable of. When you face fear, you surprise yourself. You realize you're stronger than you thought. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, your confidence grows. 2. You inspire others. People watch how you handle fear. When you face it with courage, you give others permission to do the same. Your actions show them that they can try too. 3. You become more free. Fear limits your choices. Courage gives you freedom. Freedom to speak your mind. Freedom to go where you want. Freedom to be yourself. 4. You live more fully. Life is not meant to be lived in fear. It's meant to be lived with passion, curiosity, and purpose. When you choose courage, you open yourself to more experiences and more joy. Final thoughts. Let's take a moment to look back at what we've learned in this episode. Fear is normal. Everyone feels it, but fear doesn't have to control your life. You can take small steps to face fear and grow. You can reframe fear as a sign of growth. You can build habits, routines, and mindsets that make fear smaller. You can support others and receive support. You can choose courage every day and change your life. To all our English learners out there, remember, this podcast isn't just about learning English. It's also about learning how to believe in yourself. Every time you listen, speak along, or reflect on these ideas, you're building both your language and your life. So, here's your challenge. Think of one fear you want to face this week. Just one. It could be small. Write it down. Make a plan. And take the first step. We believe in you. Thank you for joining us today on English Pod Studio. We hope this episode gave you not only new words, but new ideas and new courage. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in your power to overcome fear. Goodbye for now, and stay brave.